Hey guys, welcome to CoffeeShop Vibes, welcome to Ispirare Coffeehouse, welcome to Kittanning. Of course, Ispirare Coffeehouse is the first and only specialty coffee shop in Kittanning, and you're probably wondering what is specialty coffee versus regular coffee? Well, this video I'll break it down. There's two main differences, and I'll also teach you how to find a specialty coffee shop, something that I find just like naturally, I don't know, like a sixth sense when I'm on the road. So, specialty coffee, there's two main differences. The first being the bean or the quality of the coffee. Most specialty coffee, of course, is going to be a higher quality, more expensive bean, sourced from particular regions that have a good track record in producing high quality coffee. The other main difference is it's going to be almost exclusively 100% Arabica coffee. Regular coffee you buy at the grocery store or wherever. Walmart, most of that coffee is Robusta coffee. I think Dunkin' Donuts was using a lot of Robusta. I think they somewhat switched to Arabica. That's still not considered specialty coffee because specialty coffee, again, going to be higher end, higher grade coffee. The other difference about the bean is how it's roasted. Most specialty coffee shops, roasters will not have an over roasted bean. Some will have like a New Orleans style or a dark roast. But still, dark roast is not really like a dark roast, right? Not to pick on Starbucks, we love them because they've laid the groundwork for specialty coffee shops, in my opinion. But you know, their beans are typically a little bit over roasted as well. That's because they're roasting coffee in like big tanker cars, right? Like thousands of pounds at a time, right? 30, 40 feet long drums, right? Foot long drums. And specialty coffee is typically going to be roasted in a roaster about 100 pounds or less, right? Most capacity is going to be like 20, 15-pound roasters, right? So it's very meticulous process. And again, it's probably not going to be over roasted. Some of these bigger places, you know, the drive-thrus and whatnot, roast that, since they're buying cheaper coffee, and they roast a little bit darker, that kind of roasts out the imperfections, right? So this is going to give you a darker, more consistent flavor. Some people also say they do that because the darker taste is a little bit more addictive. But anyway, long story short, specialty coffee from the coffee bean side is going to be a higher end coffee that's going to be rated or graded much higher. It's going to have a higher premium, and it's typically going to be roasted in a much smaller machine, and it's typically going to be a lighter roast to show more of the flavor profile of that coffee. Right. The other difference is the craftsmanship of the barista at a specialty coffee house. You can typically find one by what kind of espresso machine they have, right? If they have a nice high-end espresso machine, that's typically a good sign that this is coffee shop's pretty serious about dialing in the espresso and dialing in your drinks. Now, the other difference, and I'll use Starbucks, is they have a machine that grinds the coffee, puts it in the thing, and douses the shot, right? And that's so they can bring in thousands of employees a week, right? And switch them out, right? Because it's got to be more automated. Especially coffee house, it's a lot less automated, right? We actually will cut off the shot. We will froth the milk by hand. So there's a little bit more of a handcrafted process, and the barista is really solely responsible for the quality of that drink. It's not as much of a couple machines, push button, automatic Keurig style type of coffee drink, and then put some sugar in it, and you're on the road, right? Specialty coffee shop's going to be more by hand, again, with the machine they're going to control the shot, they're going to control how they make that milk for your drink. Yeah, that's the big difference than you'll see in some of these drive-thrus that are a little bit more automated in a larger kind of more franchise setting. So that's the key differences: the quality of the coffee and the craftsmanship of how the drink is made between specialty coffee and, we'll say, regular coffee. Now, how to find a specialty coffee shop? Most of them you can always tell by kind of like where they get their coffee beans. You can just like look at a picture inside, right? I see the espresso machine, I know that's a specialty coffee shop. There's just a different vibe, different ambiance, and I always feel in a specialty coffee shop. Some of them will say this is a specialty coffee house. It's also what we call it sometimes craft coffee and third wave coffee too. But essentially they all mean the same thing: specialty coffee, higher quality coffee. And like I said, they're typically, you know, in more neighborhoods, right? Don't have too many with drive-thrus, etc. So, but the biggest giveaway for me is just looking at one picture. I pretty much can tell the place. check out the machine if it's a good quality machine. In my like a nice espresso machine facing front. That's also a good key. That's a specialty coffee house. Most of the a lot of places will put it in the back if coffee is a side thing for them. But especially coffee house, the espresso is going to be the star attraction, so they'll put the machine up front and the baristas can interact with the customers. So that's another kind of giveaway for a specialty coffee house in most cases. All right, guys. Hey, hopefully you like these videos. We do these every week, helping you CoffeeShop Vibes. The whole show is to help you enhance your specialty coffee shop experience. I guess first you should know the difference between specialty and regular coffee. And good luck finding your next specialty coffee shop. Like I said, you can just Google those as well. So, all right, guys. Talk to you soon. See you next week on another edition of CoffeeShop Vibes.